This is the Haibike Urban. It's one of the more affordable, I guess the most affordable road bike style electric bike that Haibike makes. I love that it kind of blends in a little bit. It's got that darker color. It's not going to stand out quite as much as the other two. There's the Race and the Super Race. The Race has like these drop bars. Both of those bikes are capable of reaching 28 miles per hour. They're sort of speed pedelecs, whereas this one's limited to 20 miles per hour, just like the rest of the Haibikes. Aside from that, it's very similar. I mean, you don't get the deep dish carbon rims, and some of the component spec isn't quite as premium. This is a 10-speed rear cassette versus 11 on the Race, but for someone who's enjoying getting around town, riding primarily on tarmac and roads, and likes that road bike feel, I mean, this is excellent. And it's the kind of bike being priced at it's about $4,500 that it's not an $8,000 bike where you might be concerned about actually locking it up at a rack or whatever. So this is the kind of thing you could really enjoy. In my feeling, it's like, okay, it's still a lot of money, but it's a little bit more value priced, and you're getting an excellent drive system from Bosch, and of course excellent weight distribution across this thing, great lighting package. So I'm just gonna jump in and talk about the specs here a little bit. We're looking at here are these nice Shimano hydraulic disc brakes, 160 millimeter rotors front and rear. That provides nice stopping power. It's I guess I enjoy disc brakes on even a road bike, or a lot of them have rim brakes or something up here like that, but it's just smooth. And then having them be hydraulic like this, you can just use one or two fingers and focus the rest of your energy on holding these grips. The grips are great. They've got lockers on them, so they're not going to spin on you as you ride. Here's that rear disc, and it's a little bit tucked away back here, but we've got a 10-speed cassette that I was talking about earlier. This is a Shimano Diore XT Shadow Plus, so decent components here. Expect a little bit higher than some of the other entry-level stuff, and they ride really well, pretty smoothly. One of the neat things about this Bosch system is that it has shift detection, so as you're riding and shifting through those gears, the motor sort of lets up and isn't gonna mash quite as much. I do like that these have reflective sidewalls on the tires here. We've got these Schwabe, what is it like? Yeah, Marathon Supreme, and the tires are 700 by 32C, so fairly narrow, not quite slicks. They've got a little bit of tread there, but again, really designed for road riding. There isn't a suspension fork or anything like that. And this being an aluminum frame, it's like 6061 aluminum, a little bit more vibration, and again, it's heavier than, say, a non-electric bike that has a carbon frame that might dampen the vibration a little bit. But overall, this bike weighs about 39-40 pounds. I weighed it, and these aren't the stock pedals. These are just kind of thrown onto a demo bike here. But it's worth noting that because the battery is removable and the battery weighs about 8.8 pounds, this ends up being like a 30-pound bike if you're going to transport it with like a bike rack, throw that onto your car. And because the wheels are quick release, front and rear, you can kind of break this down into a relatively small package for transporting around. And I like that. Again, it's a very useful bike. It's the kind of thing that you ride around, you lock it up, you toss it in your car, whatever, and it's gonna get the job done. And I love that. So I guess maybe it's time to jump into the drive system a little bit, because that's what sets this apart from just a standard road bike, aluminum road bike. So we're looking at the Bosch second generation center drive system. It's a 350 watt motor, and as you can see, it's super low and centrally located on the frame. This exterior is just cosmetic. It's got kind of a bash guard down here so that if you were to encounter a curb or something, it wouldn't take the impact directly to the motor, but it's sealed and it's inside there. It's a really cool system. Being geared, you get a lot of extra torque and power as you ride. You do hear it a little bit more, kind of a whining noise depending on which gear you're using in the rear. But that's really the big advantage of this system, is that if you're climbing, you can downshift And in the same way that you benefit as a rider, it's going to be easier to pedal and you can go at a higher RPM. Well, the motor also benefits, and it's sort of geared to match optimal pedal cadence for a human being. And so that's really cool. You climb really well. Once you start going faster, you know, you shift to a higher gear, and the motor benefits there as well. So it's actually very easy to hit 20 miles per hour on this bike. And it's not like the motor slows you down after that. It cuts out. It's not going to propel you beyond that. So this qualifies as a Class 1 pedal assist electric bike, which is kind of the lowest level, most widely accepted for trails and paths and bike lanes and everything like that. It's basically a bicycle. So that's a benefit in a lot of ways, depending on where you live. And again, with the motor and battery just blending right into the frame, it's not going to stand out as much. The battery pack here, it's called the Power Pack 400, but it's actually 396 watt hours worth of capacity, so it's 36 volts, 11 amp hours, and that's pretty solid. You know, that's a touch above average, and when combined with the efficient mid-drive, that's pretty excellent. You can see there's like a charging port right here on the pack. The pack is removable. There's a lock right here. It's made by Abus, which is another German company that makes really high quality stuff. Haibike is a German company, by the way. They do really, really beautiful frames, in my opinion, and with the Bosch system on it like this, it's a good setup. So you can take that thing off, charge it inside, keep it away from extreme heat, extreme cold, top it off after you ride each time, and that's going to make it last. And one of the cool things is that when you do take it off, you can kind of gauge the battery level by pressing this little LED indicator. So you don't need to put it on the bike to remember, like, oh, did I charge it or not? And I think that's pretty rad. So all of that goes up to this controller, this display panel up here that lets you interface with the bike and basically manage what kind of power you're going to be getting. But it doubles as a cycle computer. So right now, you know, to turn it on, you press this power button and it kind of comes to life. It's a monochrome display. It is backlit. It's actually being backlit right now, which is pretty cool. And it also allows you to control these integrated lights. See, there's a headlight and a tail light, and they're pretty awesome. It's really cool when you can kind of run everything off of one battery pack. And I didn't mention, but this is a lithium manganese pack. The cells are designed to be super lightweight, long lasting, and again, by powering these, you know, minimal draw LED lights here, for me, it's like you don't have to worry about forgetting to charge the batteries on those lights, or forgetting to turn them off. They're integrated, and they're harder to steal, and if someone does steal it, it's gonna break it. It's not like they're gonna benefit at all. And when you turn, check that out, the light turns with you. So I love that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. You can see there's like stepped plastic in there to kind of help it shine at all angles, and there's like 3 LEDs in here, 1 in the center and 2 on the sides to kind of project the light right where you'd want it. Very cool. So anyway, back up to the display. The display is also removable, just like the battery pack, and it's got its own batteries inside, so you can kind of mess with it even when it's not on the bike. There we go. And it swivels forward and backwards so you can reduce glare. Basically, I spend the most time on this bike sort of interacting with the breakout button pad right here, because, you know, I'm actually trying to hold on to the handlebars and ride the bike. I like that you don't have to like reach towards the middle to activate anything on this bike once it's on, at least. And so you can kind of cycle through the displays with this eye, go from the odometer, it's like how far the bike has gone, trip distance, so how far has it gone this trip, and you can reset that with that button right there and start out again at 0. Clock, maximum speed, average speed, trip time, and range. And range is cool because there are 4 levels of pedal assist, and as you arrow up from the lowest to the highest, you actually get an approximation for what kind of distance the bike thinks it can go with the remaining battery capacity. So at the lowest level, Eco, it says, hey, you can get about 62 miles. This battery isn't even fully charged. And with such efficient wheels and such a lightweight frame, you know, for an e-bike, that's phenomenal. I think you could actually get 70 plus on ideal, like optimal conditions, just flat road. And Eco gives you about 50% power output. And then you've got Tour, Sport, and the highest is Turbo. It estimates 24-mile range. And Turbo, you're getting like 275% power output. So it's just you know, really incredible. You push down and it's like, vroom, like it goes. It's like a race car. So this frame does come in 4 different sizes, so you can really dial in the fit, and that's great when you're on, you know, something like this that's like high precision, super fast. It comes in 50, 53, 56, and 59 centimeter frame sizes. So that's pretty cool. Kind of dial it in. They are all high step though, so keep that in mind if you're looking at this bike and maybe you don't have the same flexibility to swing your leg over. Haibike does make some other low step bikes. So for me, this bike is kind of unique because it actually is like a road bike. There aren't too many electric bikes that actually give you those narrow tires and that really like aggressive geometry. So it's neat to see here, and it's tons of fun to ride. Again, the big differences between this and the more expensive race and super race is that 28 top speed of the motor outputs for being a speed pedelec, and also the weight and some of the components. So I'm gonna hop on this thing and give you a quick demo of, you know, what it's like to ride. So I'm in turbo mode right now, and that's gonna give me the most power. You can kind of listen to that motor. Okay, so the motor just cut out at 20, and I'm still pedaling, you know, and I think I can get it up faster than 20. There we go, 21, 22, and I'm riding with the camera, you know, so it's definitely possible to get those higher top speeds. It's just the motor won't be helping you. So I think the best use of this kind of thing would be helping you get up hills, helping you fight the wind, and helping you go a little bit further, because in those quote-unquote lower speeds below 20, you're more efficient. There's less drag happening, and so you're actually going to get probably better range on this bike than some of those speed pedelecs, which is an interesting sort of a side benefit there. There we go. Well, that is the Haibike Urban. For the full write-up on this bike, including pictures, specs, and other Haibike reviews, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com.